All right, hey VC, I'm Jamie. Welcome back. We're back with another unboxing this time, and thrilled about this one. This is the new Stan Rogers box, and it says here it's Stan Rogers Music, Lyric, and Stories, but I don't think that's the actual title. The title of the vinyl box set is Songs for a Lifetime. Very excited about this box set. I was surprised to see a new Stan Rogers box set coming out. Now, in case you're not familiar with Stan Rogers, he was a Canadian singer-songwriter in the folk tradition, had a great baritone voice, and sang about Canada, songs and stories from sea to sea to sea. And unfortunately, he died in 1983 on an Air Canada flight. He was performing in Texas and was heading back home, boarded an Air Canada flight, and there was a fire on board the flight. They had to make an emergency landing in Kentucky, smoke inhalation, and he died from that flight, and he was 33 years of age. So they have released a vinyl box set. This is not a complete overview of Stan Rogers. This is spotlighting on some posthumous albums released, and some of these appear on vinyl for the first time. So here is the box set. Songs of a Lifetime Limited Edition includes the complete Stan Rogers songbook and album liner notes, 3 rare out-of-print vinyl albums. There you go. So it's Stan Rogers, Music, Lyrics, and Stories. And yeah, I guess that is actually the title of the box set. There you go, Music, Lyrics, and Stories. Okay, so there you have it. So this features From Coffee House to Concert Hall, which is a great live album. Also Home from Halifax. From Coffee House to Concert Hall features a variety of different live performances. Some fairly recently discovered. Home in Halifax is a complete show, which was I think a CBC radio show. And they've also got From Home in Halifax, since it was a CD initially, on side D, they've got Discoveries, Rare Live Recordings. So this is a bunch of songs that have never been released before. And then they also have the album For the Family, which has been put out on vinyl. And that was the first posthumous album released after Stan's death. And that's the one, as I recall, where Garnet Rogers writes in the liner notes that this is hard to write. We just lost Stan about a week ago in the fire aboard that plane. So wow, there you go. So we are going to take a look inside. Interesting, on side D, Discoveries, Rare Live Recordings. The songs are Paint Me a Picture, Skyway, and there's a song called Jamie, which is, didn't know that, and same spelling too. Jamie. Love Can't Be Bitter All the Time, and The Old Rose and Crown. It's amazing how they can keep discovering some, Stan Rogers songs that have never been released or whatever. He would sing a lot of songs live, for the first time, so there are certainly lots of live recordings of Stan Rogers. Okay. Let's open up, or take the shrink off and take a look inside. Okay, we'll definitely, of course, be keeping the hype sticker. Okay. A really nice gloss to this box set. And Stan Rogers, again, for these albums, they never got, as far as I recall, never got released on a major label. Fogarty's Cove Music. And so, yeah, it continues, for the most part, to be independent release. I don't know if there's any major distribution or not. But Stan Rogers, really nice gloss to the box. And I think you can order this through their website, or you can pick it up through Amazon. I will say it is not inexpensive, to say the least. So, very nice. Okay, so we got this, and this is the first thing that we see is the album From Coffee House to Concert Hall. And they've gone with kind of stylized covers for these ones, for the most part, because that's definitely not the CD cover for that, which they have tended to be doing in the Stan Rogers reissues. They've been doing these kind of newish covers, kind of stylized covers, that sort of thing. So you got that, and then you've got nice insert here that features, looks like, all the lyrics and production notes, publishing notes. Okay, very nice. And all black vinyl, of course. Nice polylined sleeves, each one. Pretty straightforward on the labeling there. Okay, so there's that, and that's not gatefold. It's just a little slip in to the one there. Okay, I'll just put that down here. And then we've got Stan Rogers' Home in Halifax. This is a great concert. Well-recorded concert. And then, as mentioned, they're putting Discoveries and Rare Live Recordings as side D on this one. So again, with the CD, often if they fill up the CD, it can be put over 3 sides, and then they've got that. At least they didn't do an etching. There you go. Okay. And again, pretty much the same style. We got a nice insert. I got a picture on that one. And a short biography, details about the concert. Very nice. And I never had the chance to see Stan Rogers, but I've seen his brother Garnet Rogers, who sort of carried on through the tradition. Garnet Rogers played fiddle in the Stan Rogers band, and then went on to have a solo career after Stan's death. And he's got a very different style than Stan Rogers. Stan Rogers got the big baritone, big energy on stage, and then Garnet Rogers a lot more laid back, not quite as big a voice, that sort of thing, but... Okay, and then we got, interesting, we do have slightly different labeling here. Okay, there you go, and that'll be on the other record as well. Again, certainly the black sleeves there. And then we have Stan Rogers For the Family. Now, in terms of sort of the traditional stuff that Stan does, this one is pretty much all covers. And this one is probably the least accessible of the Stan Rogers album. There's some lovely songs on here. Scarborough Settler's Lament, I think, is one of my favorite songs from this one. And Three Fishers is also a great one. But it's a pretty down album, pretty somber album. As I say, maybe his least accessible. And again, this wasn't the initial cover that was released, kind of stylized for this box set. And let's just take this. This one's a bit of a tug to get this one out. Oh, okay. And we got that. And then we'll take a look at the insert that's inside. Pretty much follows again For the Family. Yeah, and it does have the original liner notes with Garnet Rogers, and it starts off, "Where to begin? I didn't expect to be writing this. We lost Stan last week, tragically killed in an air accident. We lost him in mid-stride of a career that was seemingly just starting to take off. We thought we had so much yet to do when we recorded these tracks in October 1982. And he died in 1983. Okay, so there you go. You've got all that going on. Lots to read there. And then we've got this as well. We've got a songbook, music, lyrics, stories, songs of a lifetime. Quite a thick, complete songbook. I don't know if we'll be able to see that. Nice little write-up, and it's Ariel Rogers, Stan's wife, who I think pretty much handles the Stan Rogers catalog. And then she writes here, "For over 50 years, the Canadians have heard, sung, and thoroughly enjoyed the songs of the late Stan Rogers. As you know, Stan died in an airplane disaster coming home from a festival in the U.S. in 1983. 22 other souls perished with him. Their deaths horrified a nation, and Stan also left a gaping hole in the world of folk music. How does one deal with such an enormous loss? We keep on singing, of course, and I suspect he would have wanted nothing less." There you go. There's a little bit more there saying, "May songs of a lifetime bring you many happy hours." That's Ariel Rogers. And so this is, I'm assuming, so they've got a few like extra little pictures and whatnot. So this looks like it's a complete song list. I thought maybe it'd be the songs from these albums, but it looks like it's got, again, the albums Fogarty's Cove, which was his debut, then Turnaround, Between the Breaks Live, Northwest Passage, For the Family, From Freshwater also, and then From Coffee House to Concert Hall, Home in Halifax also included on here, but it doesn't look like it has. So it's missing maybe 1 or 2 posthumous albums, but pretty much most of the Stan Rogers catalog, probably at least in terms of the stuff that he wrote. Yeah, I guess they wouldn't have any of the cover songs, so probably most of the stuff he wrote. I'll give you sort of an indication. You know, it's got everything you need if you're going to play some Stan Rogers songs. I think somebody like Glenn Calloway would love this. With Glenn Calloway from the Basement. Another Stan Rogers fan, as I recall. So yeah, it looks very nice. So there you go. And one thing I'm going to actually, that my wife picked up for me quite some time ago, that is going to be perfect for me to just keep in this box set rather than have it in a drawer and then get misplaced, is in Canada, they came out with the Stan Rogers postcard. So here it is in the Canada Post, a little sleeve here, Canada Post, and they came out with a Stan Rogers commemorative stamp. So Stan Rogers, 1949 to 1983, and then it's got the stamps inside like that, and a few of the songs in the background there. And that's a nice picture of Stan. 45 years, Fogarty's Cove, Northwest Passage, Barrett's Privateers, Mary Ellen Carter, and Lock Keeper. Some of the songs listed there. And a nice little write-up in both English and French. And again, it pretty much talks about what we were discussing. Known for his rich baritone voice, folk singer Stan Rogers wrote earthy, heartfelt ballads about the Canadian experience. He was born in Hamilton, Ontario, which is interesting because he really got his big success in Canada out east, and then, of course, throughout Canada. But he was from Ontario, but had family out in the Maritimes as well. So yeah, born in Hamilton. He found inspiration in traditional Celtic-style music of the Maritimes, released his first album and the raucous sea shanty Barrett's Privateers in 1976, although Northwest Passage, with its stirring title track, was his last release before his tragic death in an airplane fire. 7 posthumous albums have been added to his remarkable musical legacy. There you go. So that's the Stan Rogers box set. And yeah, they've been certainly doing some great reissues for Stan Rogers. There's probably more live recordings that they could release, so I'm sure we'll get more down the road. But this is a very pleasant surprise because, again, several of these albums have not been, as far as I understand, released on vinyl before. They've been on CD, so it's nice to have vinyl copies of this. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll chat again soon. More unboxings to come.